So I hope Eddie doesn't mind. This no, I've been to the edge. I stood and looked down. I lost a lot of friends there. I got no time to fuck around. The biggest story of 2020, bar fucking none, broke yesterday. Alto Reed's death, that's a big story. Marianne, Miss Wells, that's a big story. Wow. Eddie Van Halen, God, that's a big story. I don't have a television. I'm a music nut, but the biggest story broke yesterday out of Japan, and you're all asleep. I've been to the edge. Literally, I've stood and looked down. I lost a lot of friends there. I got no. And by the way, I want to wipe the slate clean. I'm so sick of the Obamacans and the fucking Trumpers. Goodbye, goodbye. It's like people on Facebook saying, "I'm the friend." I says, "Who fucking asked you? I've never sent out a friend request in my fucking life. Don't let the fucking door hit you in the ass. The nuclear waste door." Bye-bye, Trumpers. Bye-bye, Obamacans. You Fukushima rats. I've been to the edge. I lost way too many fucking friends over the last decade. Way too many. Fighting cancer. Trying to save you from you is a real motherfucker. So the biggest story broke. Before I get to the biggest story of 2020, the anchovy and sardine numbers were released today. The 2021. No fishing again. How many years in a row in that is that? 8. Down 99. You should see these now. Oh, I'll post the link. It's all coincidence, bro. Oregon set their salmon numbers here just like they've set them the lowest. Catastrophe. Down 95% from 2011. Everything's down. Tide pool's fucking wiped out. So this is the big story. You fuckers all over. So many people owe me an apology. Remember those guys are making the videos, oh, Pacific genocide is a fucking hoax, Kevin Letch, Dutch Sants, all these fuckers that just attacked me. I'm the guy that termed it the Great Pacific Genocide. Clear back then. So the NRA, who's the NRA? That's Japan's Nuclear Regulatory Authority. They're the police, like our NRC. Police, fuck, I don't know. By the way, I call out to that fuckhead John Carter, because he thinks he's smarter. He's from Idaho. He's the famous morning DJ, who I know here, who was fantastic in the younger years. What a wit, what a mind he was for years. Castle of the Mormon Church bought 103.5, which is a famous radio station here, which is so good. Of course, Idaho, the rock's better. But they've started their own. They call it Bob, and he's got a new intro on his new show. He says, yeah, my 5 viewers are the Fukushima, and he spoofs Fukushima for the first time. Where you been for the last 10 years, Carter? You think you're fucking smarter. Careful with that fucking making karma on that. If you're going to fucking mention it in the proper fashion. So, the demonic acid, I'm at the market, me and my grandson, because it's a big tradition, seafood on New Year's Day. It's a big tradition. Lots of places. I'm like, not me. I don't eat fucking seafood. I did pre-Fukushima. I love tuna. It's my favorite. I used to eat the shit. I loved it. I was in the market and they were saying, you can't be crabby on Crabby Day. The girl runs the market. I heard her saying to her employees, at the fish, I'm friends with those guys. We talk fish all the time. I says, the crabs are full of demonic acid. Kevin, you're going to say that right in front of my freaking crab case? We don't get Dungeness crab. I says, I wonder why. I says, yeah, I'm going to say, I don't put a big sign if you sell any of it right there. I says, they're killing people. It's not even demonic acid. I says, you read through these articles, they're saying the unknown. It's a new unknown toxin. They don't even know what the fuck it is. Wow. So the biggest story of 2020, Marianne dying. Oh, I like everybody saying, I had such a crush on her. Who didn't? Everybody on earth had a crush on her. You're talking the great American. That's it. I remember Johnny Versace many, many years ago. He says, the great American female. Elegance, charm, grace, strength, beauty. Used to be every other woman. He says, then it went 1 in 10. Then 1 in 100. He says, it's now 1 in a million. She was 1 in 300 million. I mean, it's heartbreaking. Beautiful 82. What an end. What a horrible, fucking tragic year it's been. Eddie Van Halen, who fought cancer for so long. I've been to the edge. I stood and looked down. Alto Reed goes. Probably my two favorite bands of all time, and I do nothing but listen to music. You know, Bob Seger and freaking Van Halen. I mean, he was a Grand Funk Railroad guy. I don't even know if Turn the Page is not my favorite song. I like Down on Main Street, but I've always think about Against the Wind. I remember my girlfriend, and God, she should have known then. I've got 3 kids with her. First date we ever went to, Seeger, her and another girl had to carry me out on Wednesday. God, I loved that guy. I remember they canceled a show in Denver, and they're coming from San Diego, and I already seen San Diego. I think it was 78. Still the same. Oh, I love that song. I said, you got to go see him. So we got to get right up, because the Salt Palace was the greatest music. Everybody said it. The greatest lighting, the greatest acoustic. What? Tear it down. That's what the fuckheads did to build that big Energy Solutions, fucking Vivid Home, fucking Paranoia, fucking drum. By the way, the fucking jazz. Miller, get this one. Wait till you hear this. Miller, I mean, you want to talk creepy people, the Miller family. They finally sold the jazz. They're the creepiest people in the world. I mean, creepy fucking people. So the one son bought the Walker Mansion, which is a Utah icon. I mean, it's an incredible facility. And didn't tell anybody. He changed his name to Brilliant Miller, who's never made a dime in his fucking life. He tore it fucking down. Creepy fucking Millers. You know, Carter thinks he's smarter, Fukushima. He's a music nut. He's got a brilliant music brain. Mentioning Fukushima in his promo ad. I hope I'll get a recording of it, because I've been listening to them. I like their new station, because no more church bought Cassell and ruined it. Turned it into car advertisements. Against the wind, I'm still running. So we got to get right up next to him, because nobody went. They didn't have to play. They're like, we just want to stay in rhythm. I mean, those concerts sold out, but that concert, I think there was 700 or 800 people there in the Salt Palace. Right up to Alto Reed. Thomas is his real name. Don't you love rock and roll with the sax in it? How good is the sax in rock and roll? Whoa. Whoa. All these idiots. You know they're an idiot when they play Still I Love That Old Rock. That's the worst Bob Seger song in history. Down on Main Street. That's my favorite. Long, lovely dancer. I used to love to watch her do her stuff. What a masterpiece. It's like these guys that say, we love Skinner, we love Skinner. What? Mr. Saturday Night Special. You got a barrel that's blue and cold. You ain't good for nothing but put a man 6 feet in the hole. It's like, we're going to go see Journey. It's too late. I saw them with 600 fucking people. What a Journey. They're not Journey without Steve Perry. It's not Bob Seger. He retired anyway without Alto Reed. Seger named him that after Captain Beefheart. I saw those guys too. Whoa. Whoa, fucking Frank Zappa on fucking Balco on chemo. The biggest story of 2020. And fuck all you Trumpers and fuck all you Obamacans. Go get on your fucking knees and Kool-Aid somewhere else. Who fucking needs you? Not me. Heartbreaking that he died at 72 years old of cancer. But my point is, all these celebrities, they have the fields. I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan too. I love Stevie. I love Prince. You know, how come none of them will say a fucking word about Fukushima? So the biggest story of 2020 is it COVID? No, it's just like fighting cancer. Oh, we're going to take a pill. Okay, go for that. Go for it. I've been to the edge. I stood and looked down. I lost a lot of friends there. I got no time to fuck around. I loved Eddie. I met him at 5150 in Pasadena twice. I'll never forget it. There was a bunch of girls fucking hanging around. This is way back in the day. Some people, this is the Mammoth days when we were in San Diego and PB. You heard that? I'm like, fuck. I mean, I got to hear him early. I'm like, that fucker on that guitar. I'm like, where the fuck? What the fuck? He's the greatest avant-garde. I don't say avant-garde. 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 Anti-neo-Yoko Dadaism. Pound cake with that fucking drill. Hook it up to a car battery. I remember there was a bunch of so-called really hot yuppie girls, groupies hanging around. A group of us got to go there, blah, 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 blah. And of course, David Lee Roth, he's all over the girls, And we're at 5150. We're there. There's a small group of us there. And Eddie chain smoking them fucking cigarettes and fucking drinking. Passing the bottle around. We're hitting it. The Jack Daniels. He was drinking Black Velvet that day. Black Velvet, if you please. These girls all over, no fucking interest. He fucking had no... All he wanted to do was talk fucking music. I'm like, this dude's the fucking craftsman. His death, he fought it for a long time. Tough motherfucker. Really a tough motherfucker. My line I use for Eddie is this. Sleep and dream is all I crave. I traveled far across the Milky Way. To my cancer master. I become a slave. Till we meet again. Albert Einstein said, some other day. Silence sleeps as loud as one. Earth someday, we hope, I don't think can return as what it was once before. Then you sense a change. Oh, do I sense a change in 20? Nothing feels the same. My dreams have been very fucking strange lately. Love comes walking in. He wrote most of all those songs. I've been to the edge. I stood and looked down. I lost a lot of friends there. Fuck. Playing that fucking piano. You ever seen him play the piano? Whoa. Alto Reed goes. Thomas. Right up next to him, watching him blare on that fucking sax. Fucking Against the Wind. That was before the Against the Wind. That was 1980. Still the same. Remember, they always had the fantastic backup singers. My middle girl's named after Cassie Gaines. Skinner. I was a big Skinner fan. Billy Powell on the piano. Have the orchestra with them. Always had the orchestra then. Always had the beautiful backup singers. You'd swear those were the Southern Black great gospel singers, They're in all those great... that's... You remember I used to call myself the Fukushima backup singers? Cassie Gaines. She was killed that day. They were over. They were over that day. It was over. Seeger's over. Van Halen's over. Eddie died. So many of us. Marianne's dead. What an end to an incredible, incredible culture. But yet nobody would take on Fukushima. So what's the biggest story of 2020? It happened yesterday. Let's see, EcoWatch reported it. He's a Utah guy. He interviewed me in the hospital, LDS. We all back down. The NRA, that's Japanese record, goes in. Now think about this. They haven't been in there in 6 fucking years. Unit 1, Unit 2. Now why in the fuck have they not been in there in 6 years? They go in there. The greatest story on earth. COVID-19 is a mutation for Fukushima. There's no doubt in my mind. Trump's a criminal derelict, so is Obama. Oh, Hillary, fuck. Hillary and Trump identicals. I thought he was going to fucking... Nothing on Fukushima. The greatest story in the world. Perpetuate the fucking lie. So they go in for the first time in 6 years. This is their reporting. You know they sandbag. You don't know what sandbagging is. 10 sieverts an hour. One Sievert and I will kill you deader than fuck. It's all a lie. The cleanup's a fucking lie. They're just murdering and killing. Killing the Pacific Ocean. I've been to the edge. I was given 2 months to live, one in the bone marrow. Somebody says 11-11. You shouldn't talk about your own strife and pain. It dilutes the story. Fuck, it is the fucking story. The book, I am the fucking book. The cultural icon. Let's do this. Let's see if I can do this. I was gonna do this. Okay. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to put Eddie Alto Reed in there. We'll even put Rush Limbaugh in there. You know, these cultural icons. Marianne? Oh boy, she's going to be there. Come on, Kev. Organic. Where the fuck? There's the curtains. Who's that dude? John Blewett, Eric Oppenheim, Kevin Finnegan. They're all post-ignorance army. Who's that guy? Huh. What? What? Come on, you can do it. Down on Main Street. Long-lived dancer. I used to love to watch her do her thing. Everyone who's died of cancer and leukemia on Trump's watch, on Obama's watch. The buck stops where? Cultural icons come and go, but the nuclear fallout, the curtain draws down on a freaking entire culture. Where'd you sleep last night, girl? Don't you lie to me. 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 Hopefully we got that. I slept in the dead fucking pines. Don't you lie to me, girl. Where the fuck you sleep last night? Don't you lie to me. I take it back. That's my favorite. Night moves. Oh boy. I remember Annette. She lived right over here, the rodeo queen. I remember her and I in the back seat of that 68 Oldsmobile Chevy. I remember her and I holding hands, kissing, and making out. She died last year of colon cancer. She was so beautiful. Where'd you sleep last night, girl? Don't you lie to me. Don't you lie to me. I slept in the dead fucking pines where the sun from Fukushima, Japan, it always shines. Don't you remember, Kevin? Don't you remember? Don't you? Lord, I remember. Lord, I remember. Way up firm and high. I slept next to you. I slept next to you in the bone marrow transplant center. I'm dead, Kevin. I'm in heaven. Don't you remember? Lord, I remember. Lord, I remember. Way up firm and high. Points of her own sitting way up firm and high. To everyone who's passed away or lost a loved one in the past decade to cancer, especially leukemia, you got me. Only the good die young. Who's going to defend them? Who's going to defend them? 44 was in that bone marrow transplant. 11, 11, 11. There's no stairway to heaven, Kevin. Zeppelin on Camo on Balco. Huh. Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker. Long, lovely dancer. I used to love to watch her do her stuff. Down on Main Street. Still running against the nuclear wind. I'm still running. Stay tuned.